I just wanted to go ahead and make a video on a comment that I received on sovereigngods.ning.com. It's a site that I just launched. Actually, what I did was I changed the Illuminating Minds name to sovereigngods.ning.com because basically it's going to be filled with practicing magicians, sovereign magicians. Doesn't matter what color or shade. And also people that are working on themselves, personal alchemy, through meditation. They have a better grasp of what the laws of the universe is with law of attraction, quantum physics, all that, and realizing that we are creating our own reality. We are our own gods. We are our own gods. We don't need to worship anything. We don't need to worship presidents. We don't need to worship, gods and angels and all that. Instead, we look to them as allies, kind of like the Norse gods and Norse magic. That's exactly what the people back in the day did. They saw their gods as kindred spirits or kindred. Their kin, basically. Like, hey, brother and sister, help us out here. It wasn't like, hey, I worship you and oh, I beg you to do this for me. And then also, we don't worship channelers either. There's a fine line with that. Sure, it's okay to channel. It's great to communicate with your own spirit guides, whether they're ETs, angelic, demonic. It doesn't really matter. But channelings, or your higher self, like through the Dolores Cannon hypnotherapy of quantum healing hypnotherapy, I've actually been able to channel my own higher self, which to me is the most powerful spirit ever to come through you, because you get a lot of information because that spirit really knows who you are, because it is you. It is a big part of you. It is your God essence. Being able to channel like that, it's actually a very personal thing. It's not, I don't see it as channeling something where you have to tell everybody what to do and how to do it. Because if that were the case, you might as well just go back and worship the Vatican and worship all the priests and expect them to give you messages. Because what you're doing is you're giving your power away, when in all reality, we are the ones with that power. So lately, I have made a big change. I started noticing a lot of things going on with the lightworking community and the ascension and all that stuff. Not to say that it will happen or it hasn't happened. I mean, that's fine. You want to put your faith and energy into it. But however, we are living on this plane right now for a reason. We chose to come here on this plane, third dimensional reality, for a reason, to master this mundane plane. And what I mean by mastering it, being able to bring success into your life, bring actual change into your life. And so therefore we do it with magic. We're not sitting around on our hands waiting for someone to channel to tell us what to do and how to do it, So I find that very, very important for the developing magician, the sovereign, those who even want to claim their sovereignty, okay? Now, why are we doing magic? What's the point of it? Well, what it does, it actually, as a hypnotherapist, I realize that our conscious mind tends to get in the way of a lot of things. Our conscious mind tends to have a lot of, due to programming through the system and growing up into the schools and our governments, we've been programmed that, magic isn't real, it's just fantasy. Not to believe in our feelings and our emotions, to listen to what the teachers tell you and how to do it and what to do and how to live your life, and basically cut the emotional part out of your life. It's about testing and taking tests and reading and getting approval from an authority figure, okay? So therefore, with your conscious mind, when you're trying to, let's say, do law of attraction, which I have found extremely powerful as well. When you realize that there are laws of attraction, there's different types of laws. There's not just laws of attraction that are working for us or against us. We realize that when we put things out there in the universe, okay, and I want this object, okay, boom, and then there's times it just doesn't work. We're just like putting it out there, and we're waiting for things, and we're counting the time and wondering why. It's because our conscious mind has a lot to do with it. It deals with the beliefs, because throughout the time from the time that you're putting it out there in the universe through your intention of what it is that you want to create in your life, you got your chatty conscious saying, no, this is baloney, it's not going to work, totally sabotaging you. And it makes it very difficult. So that's why I say meditation is very important to doing law of attraction or doing magic, which I feel is a missing key even in the magician community, some magician communities, to actually meditate daily, whether it's for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it could be an hour, doesn't matter. But what it is being present in the moment, being here, being in the now, being connected with your higher source to help you to, be in alignment to make better decisions and even do better magic. And it also, what it does, it kind of closes the gap. Even like what Abraham Hicks has said, it closes the gap between your intention and what it is that you want. So, it's like, again, I've demonstrated this before. I've said this before. It's like shaking a champagne bottle, and the cork is way at the bottom, and that is you. I mean, that is you. You have an intention. You're like, oh, I want this to happen. And then you have all these little bubbles in between the way from, the cork to the top of the champagne bottle, which is your outcome. And so, you got all these little bubbles, which is the bubbles of consciousness, telling conscious saying, oh, you're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. Oh, da-da-da-da-da, you've been cursed, whatever. So what meditation does, it closes that gap between the little cork and the opening, which is your outcome, and then it just brings that cork all the way up to the top effortlessly. Okay, so that's what meditation does, and it might seem like magic when things do come into your life very easily when you do meditate regularly. Okay, so what magic does on top of that, what I'm finding out even more, especially when I've been doing a lot of my my banishings, my invoking rituals, my Enochian calls, and all that, I find my magic happening very quick, like very fast, where you're not waiting around. Like they say, oh, you got to wait a month, you got to wait a couple months or 3 months to a year. With meditation combined with ritual work, it is very powerful. My gosh, you will see immediate change within your reality immediately. I had an experience, actually many experiences, but I will tell you the ones that were very interesting. When I did the Supreme Invoking Ritual, the Pentagram, and this is also in my book, Manifestation Magic for the New Earth, okay? You can get it on lulu.com, and it has this whole ritual down pat in here. So what happened was, what you do is you invoke the 4 elements around you, air, earth, fire, and water, and utilizing the Enochian names. You're calling them out when you do it. Okay, and evoking the archangels as well. And I've noticed that my whole day has changed completely. I mean, this is what I'm talking about, magic. You actually see results. Okay, I'm about remedies. I'm not about waiting for things to happen and all that. I'm about remedies. So what happened, it was funny. I ended up doing the ritual, and I ended up driving into town, and everything was just coming right at me. I mean, even things I didn't even really want coming right at me, like traffic, people walking in front of me, a car almost hitting me, but not really, but it was so close. Everything was just coming this way towards me, and everything was happening so fast. So I was thinking, crap, you know what? Maybe, I should do this SIRP in the house, and if I'm about to leave the house, I should do a banishing ritual of the pentagram, because what it does, it banishes all that, and really you want to use it for your magical work. If you want to bring money to you, love, or whatever it is your intentions are, you want to use the invoking rituals to come to you. So I started noticing that even more, and I'm like, man, amazing what you can do as a magician. It really is. And again, when you put what ritual work does, when you're doing the rituals, you're lighting the candles, or you're lighting the incense, or you're doing your banishings, and you're walking around and making things happen, and you're calling things out and energy out, you then become the one in the driver's seat. You start to say, hey, I'm no longer an autopilot. I'm here. I'm a magician. I'm a goddess, and I'm here to make change to my life right here, right now. It doesn't matter. It could be money, career, love, whatever it is, protection. I'm here to make it happen, because I know that this is a hologram, and if I go into autopilot, I'm in danger of allowing life to just happen to me without me being in control of my life, okay? So again, what ritual work does, it also puts your conscious mind aside and allows your subconscious mind, when you start to move into theta or theta gamma, or some meditative state, and you're in your relaxed and altered alpha state, alpha to theta, you're more in a relaxed state, and therefore you're starting to move over into, you're crossing over into the spiritual realm. You're no longer, just like in hypnotherapy, when I put someone under hypnosis, they are becoming very relaxed. They move from the beta state, which is the full waking state, to the alpha state, which is, you're kind of, you're aware, but your mind is focused elsewhere, and you're more relaxed. And I mean, it's a lot deeper. It's a deeper level than the beta state of alertness. And then from the alpha, you go down into the theta, which is the state of meditation, when you're really open to other messages from the spirit world. You're actually walking between the worlds. So when you're operating in that altered state, that's when you're able to take control and manipulate the energies around you, okay? Because you're moving from the beta here in the third reality, I guess you could say, to the theta, which is maybe the fourth or fifth dimension, if you want to label it as such, okay? So I found that to be extremely powerful. And when you operate in that way, your conscious mind takes a back seat, and therefore you are allowing suggestions and your intentions, whatever you put out, to filter into your subconscious mind, which is the most powerful thing you can do. And when you're able to trigger that within your subconscious mind, that's when you're able to make things happen. Just like when I put someone under hypnosis, when I want to help someone with smoking, to make themselves feel better, to bring good positive things into their life, I can't do it through beta. I have to have them move into an altered state, which is the alpha or the theta state. And that is the key, because you're putting that conscious mind of doubt, of major programming throughout our years, of saying that you cannot do it, you're not a magician, you're not a god, you're just a little human, okay, just like that song, I'm just a little human, you're putting that aside, and you're allowing yourself to put your intentions out there into your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is going to start directing things into your life. And through the power of your subconscious mind, you're able to create angelic beings. Yes, create, not just invoke them. Through your invocation, you're actually creating them, because you're bringing them into form. They're not just hanging out. They're there when you evoke them, okay? And you know this even more because through NLP, or neuro-linguistic programming, I've done a lot of that. I'm an NLP trainer as well, so I've helped a lot of my clients evoke certain feelings by, focusing on on a hero or a god that they wish to to mimic, basically, visualize, imagine how this god would feel, or imagine how this hero would feel on TV, imagine how they would act or react. So you're starting to put all these emotions, you're utilizing all the sensories of your sight, sound, smell, taste, feeling, kinesthetic, all these emotions, you're bringing them in to manifestation, and you can create a form, and you're making it happen as you go along, okay? And then you're giving it a color, and you're shaping it, and then you bring the attributes into you, and automatically it is instant change, okay? A lot of my clients I've done work on, they get instant change from depression. They're crying, they're hopeless, they have no confidence, and all of a sudden when I start to work with them, within minutes, boom, they change, and they're feeling great, confident, and they're able to make better decisions, and great things are coming into their life as if they've done magic anyway. So when you utilize NLP work, especially in your ritual work, you're really triggering your mind to create what it is that you want, to create change and success into your life. I mean, really, guys, seriously, what is it that we want, truly? Yes, we are all spiritual. Yeah, we want spirituality. Yes, we want to ascend. Yes, all that. But really, what is it that we want? We want control. We want power. We want power as far as being in control of our life. We want power as being healthy, not sick and ill all the time and feeling like, oh, I'm so sick, I'm so unhealthy. You want to be in control. You want to be powerful. You want to feel young. You want to feel exuberant. You want to feel energy. You want to be in control of your own reality. And I find that when we're not in control of our own reality, what happens is we become ill, we become sick, we become, and a lot of illness is sprang upon, our circumstances is how we're living our life. It could be a flu, a headache, everything. And what it is a sign of resistance. We're resisting where we're at because we feel that we're not in control of it. So I find that ritual work and magic is very, very powerful. It doesn't matter how you do it. It could just be lighting a candle. It could be just saying, oh, and in the name of the gods, or in the name of me, or whatever. The angelic forces are here. I invoke them now. And then you visualize. You use your senses. You taste it, feel it, touch it, smell it, hear it, whatever. You bring that emotion into you of these invoked angels or legions of demons or legions of spaceships or stars, whatever, star family, whatever it is. You are in control, and you feel good about it because when you're done and you actually feel the energy, you bring it into you, you know that you are in the driver's seat to go ahead and make change into your reality. So it's very important. I find magic is very important because people are like, well, what is it so important about it? Well, then, it's better to me. I find it more important than giving your power away to channeling messages and allowing them to do everything for you, and you're just sitting on your hands and not doing anything. You're not here for that. You're here to be a magician. You're here to be a sovereign magician, a god that you are. And that's why I find out that there's a lot of role-playing going on, with our presidents. And Obama is a very popular character, and he's actually doing his job very well, because what he does, he pisses everybody off. He makes these laws, he makes these rules, and it's not just him, it's the people behind him as well. I mean, they're all in it together, and they're making these rules or pushing rules that in all reality we are totally not in agreement with, we're not in alignment with, because what it's doing, it's pushing you into your sovereignty. It's giving you the balls and he's just pushing you. He's actually an angel, I see. He's pushing you to get off your butt and be something great is what they're doing. So, when they see a lot of bad stuff coming, oh, FEMA's going to start happening, oh, we're going to lose our rights, and for you to even believe that, you need to step back and ask yourself, how much of a victim are you really? What have you been doing to apply change into your life? Have you been doing your magic? Have you been doing your ritual work? Have you been communicating with your spirits that you create, with your higher self? Have you been tapping into that through, have you been astral traveling? Have you been soul traveling? Have you actually been projecting from your physical body and traveling to different dimensions and communicating with other spiritual energies? In the ascension world, or the, the light worker world, we have dreams a lot of times, and we say, oh, we've been getting a lot of download, from all these other energies and spiritual energies, and that's great. It's great to have these downloads. But it's also even more important and more empowering when we feel that we're getting these downloads, but we're also in control in our astral world testing these energies. Who are these spiritual energies that we're communicating with? Who is it that we're channeling? Are we really channeling St. Michael? Are we really channeling St. Germain? Why don't we test them first? And we do it by putting out a sigil. A lot of us high magicians will have a sigil or a Hebrew alphabet or some kind of a symbol to, we'll put it out there, some type of symbol that relates to, that's in alignment with truth, okay, and truth and light. And we test them. Who are you? What type of spirit are you to even be communicating with me, to even, download your information onto me? Who are you first? If they pass the test and you're in good with them, then cool, come on in. But if they don't pass the test, there's deception there. And there is a lot of deception even in the world of light. Believe me. I've read a lot of channelings. Believe me. oh, everything's going to be ascending, the earth is going to be moving into a different dimension, and we're going to be doing this, and you're going to be feeling this in your body, and all. I mean, that's fine and dandy, but who is it that's you're channeling? Who are these beings? And do you, and there's another question, how are you doing in your life? Are you mastering your life? Are you the master of the mundane right now? Are you successful in your life? Are you creating wealth into your life? Are you having love into your life? Are you living like a god or goddess? Are you in absolute control? And how are you dealing with a lot of debt in your life? Are you having to run away from the law? Are you having to, are you constantly in resistance fighting against the law, okay, or whatever? Are you taking control of it by, again, being the sovereign that you are, doing your magical ritual work and doing, even if you have to do paperwork, everyone's different. Everyone doesn't have to do paperwork. You could just do magic totally and not even touch paperwork as far as being a secure creditor or sovereign, whatever, okay? You're the one creating the reality is what I'm trying to say. The key's in your hands. It's not in mine. It's not in God. It's not in no one else's. You are God essence when you step up to the plate to realize that, okay? You aren't full, you become fully realize, like God fully realize that you are God or goddess. When you come into that full God realization, you're able to know, hey, okay, well, I'm going to start my day like this, and I'm going to create my day. So what I do, I start off with a lesser banishing ritual, the pentagram. It depends on where I'm at. If I'm driving, I like to start off with that. And then, if I want to bring change into me, bring it on. I'm going to bring on the SIRP, which is extremely powerful. The banishing ritual of the hexagram, I'll call upon that, especially with the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. Very, very powerful. I mean, stuff that you can learn from Modern Magic by Donald Michael Craig is how I got started. And then eventually, if I feel that I really need to be protected and I need to cloak my aura, I'll do the Rose Cross ritual. And that's very powerful. I've had an experience, another experience. I went to SeaWorld with my family last week. My son had 4th of July. He had a birthday on 4th of July. And we ended up going, and I did the Rose Cross ritual, and I always do it before I go to the States. I always do that because I like to cloak myself. I like to bring protection onto myself because there's a lot of crap going on. There's frequencies being shot at everybody, HARP, whatever, even everywhere on the planet. But it's always really good to do that. And what happened was we were supposed to go on a ride. I got on a ride called the Manta. Really cool. And what happened was I ended up taking the quickie line. Had no idea that I had to pay for it. No one ever told me. I just went on the quickie line because Jeremy told me, get on the quickie line so you can get there quicker. And it's only for people that are riding single. Okay. So I got on, not a problem. Boom, not an issue. Got on there, had a blast. Came back, and then it was his turn to do the quickie line. And I said, okay, I'll watch the kids. No worries, hon. Go do what you got to do. So within a few minutes passes, he comes on back and he goes, wow, he's like, they're not allowing me to get on unless I pay. And I go, whoa, wait a second. They didn't ask me to pay. And that's when I realized, okay, that Rose Cross ritual's working. So he couldn't get on because he had to pay, and he didn't want to pay the extra money. And he was just like, I've already been on that before anyway, so forget it. So in another experience that I had years ago when I was 17, I did the Rose Cross ritual because we were living in a neighborhood, and there was a dog. There was this wolf. Very, very, it was like a half wolf, half dog, and the owner would let the dog run wild at night. And the thing was, we were living in a neighborhood and in this house, and we had a friend that lived on the other side on the other end of that street. So we were constantly like freaking out every time we had to walk to his house because this dog would constantly be barking at us. And he would even bite our feet, bite our shoe. And back then I was wearing my Doc Martens, like my, to protect my ankle. And I was all, punk rock then. And so what happened was, I was getting really upset about it. And I'm thinking, even if we're walking in a whole pack of people, this freaking dog is still harassing us. So one night I ended up having all my friends just sit around me, and then I ended up doing the Rose Cross ritual with my incense stick, and I went ahead and did it all the way around them to cloak all of our auras. Well, what happened was we ended up walking down the street again, and the dog did appear, but the dog acted very strange, and this happened within minutes after I was done with the ritual, okay? Didn't happen 3 weeks, a month, or whatever. All of a sudden, the dog started barking. He was going past us, walking past us. He didn't bark at us, and then he started walking across the street, running across the street from one house to another, barking, like he was going crazy, like someone gave him a hit of acid or something. And my brother was looking at the dog like, what the hell is wrong with the dog? And we just started laughing. So we're just walking by, and we're just watching the dog. We're being very entertained by the animal. And we're walking on by, and we're watching this dog, and we're like, wow, what a trip, man. So that's when I realized, wow, you know what, this stuff is very powerful stuff. And you know, all I had to do was, you know, believe in it, put my energy into it, you know, tamarkut vigibura vigidula, you know, I had the vibration of saying the names out real loud and doing the Yeshua, you know, I did the rose cross on each corner, southeast, southwest, and, you know, what have you. You'll find all that information on Modern Magic. But I actually went ahead and did it, and when I was done, it felt so wonderful, like, wow, I am protected. And what makes it so powerful is when you call upon the God names or the archangelic names or the demonic names. Well, I don't know about demonic. I haven't even done that yet, but yet. The angelic names, you call upon them and you vibrate the names, like Mikhail. Like, just try that. Raphael. You say it, you vibrate that, okay? I didn't learn this until later on, and when I was part of the Esoteric Order of the Golden Dawn. But when you vibrate these names, feel it through your body, and you're going to notice a big change within yourself happening on a molecular level, energy level, whatever you want to call it. Once you're done with it, you feel very good. It's not like just saying, okay, Archangel Raphael, Michael, come on down. You know, you're vibrating and you're bringing the power out into the macrocosm from the microcosm. In all reality, it's all inside anyway. So that is why it's so powerful to do magic, okay? Instead of just doing the law of attraction, put a, you know, picture there, oh, eventually it's going to happen, yeah. You know, you got to train yourself for that. I mean, I've made things happen just through law of attraction from time to time because I've been training in magic for a very long time. So I believe and I know it works. I've been working it. But for someone who's never had a magical background or has never trusted that their magic's going to work, and that is the most important key here, is having trust and faith in your ritual work. Trust and faith that it's going to work and it's going to happen for you, okay? When you have that trust and faith, it's very hard to have that. And to go ahead and tell people, oh, you can just, you know, law of attraction, just put it out there and boom, it's going to happen. You got to keep working it, practicing and doing it and making it happen and trusting yourself that it will. Because what happens, doubt creeps in, and then before you know it, it just totally sabotages your work. So I say start off with magic all together. I mean, that's the way to go. And that is why, again, I've erected I went ahead and changed the name to Sovereign Gods. It's no more just illuminating your mind. We're actually here to do some magical work. So right now we have a lot of star seeds and light workers and all that. So hopefully we're able to kind of influence them a little bit to take their power back by actually doing the work. Not allowing other people to brainwash you or deceive you. And I feel that these other energies that's coming forth is not of the light. Because if it is, you would feel extremely empowered to be a full creator of your own reality. You're not waiting for someone to do it and then getting doubt and then crying and feeling sad and depressed because the aliens aren't here and they're not here to save us and they're not here to make a change because the government's still there and then Obama's still there. You know, when you start working your reality and you're working at your magic, you can change the government. You can change the way that the government is and how you view the government. It's all about changing and shifting your perception. That's what it's all about. You can even mold Obama in a nice way, okay, but it's in your own reality. It's in your own parallel universe. You're not actually going to Obama and changing him. You're changing yourself and you're changing the parallel reality that you are living in, because we are multi-universe multi-dimensional beings living in all parallel universes at the same time. So, like the movie Sliders and the show Sliders, what do you see? You see, okay, I'm gonna go slide down into another dimension with a cool president, a cool people, everyone's cool, and then you slide into another dimension that the people are just not cool at all. You have that capability to make things happen in that way. You can definitely shift your reality. Why? It is a hologram. We are doing it. We are doing the work. But if you give in to listening to a lot of the conspiracy theories of, we're all body bags, we're all going to die, look at the president, and making Obama look like this demonic being. In all reality, he's just playing his role in that parallel universe. I don't even no longer want to say in that third dimension, because it really limits everything. I like to say more in that parallel reality, that paradigm he's living in. He's doing his thing, that Obama is, and then the other Obama is probably doing other different things completely opposite of what that Obama is doing, because you're shifting with every thought. If you haven't listened to Bashar, listen to him. Now, I align with him. I like his channeling because he gives you the power. He gives you the key. He tells you that you're in the driver's seat. Don't just listen to me ramble. Give it a try and find out for yourself. That's what I'm talking about. I like Abraham Hicks. I like Esther Hicks. Why? They give you the keys to drive your own car. Try it. Give it a try. Don't listen to us ramble. Don't rely on us rambling and giving us the power. You give it a try. That's